happy Monday to you. Today's reading from Musings of a Christian Physician on the Physical and Spiritual Healing of Man by Dr. Joseph DeMay is from week 1, Thursday. You might be wondering what all this theological background has to do with the healing power of faith in Jesus Christ. But please be patient. I promise you it's closely related. It is quite easy to quote Isaiah 53 and claim healing because it states, "By his stripes we were healed." Although that is indeed the case, you're just going through an exercise in positive thinking, and your soul knows it, unless you have discovered for yourself the very firm foundation your belief is set upon, such that there is absolutely no wavering, no hint of disbelief, because you know the scriptures to be more true, trustworthy, and unfailing than anything you have experienced before, and that what you believe is superior to what you experience in this world. In other words, things of the Spirit trump things of the world, and that's where our progenitors, Adam and Eve, erred, by believing more in the things of the world. It is this turning away from the Spirit and relying on the carnal, also referred in the Bible as things of the flesh and things of the world, that we will look at next. So we left Adam and Eve in the garden, created in the image of God, filled with his Spirit, yet also equipped with an amazing intellect. God tasked Adam with observing all of his living creatures and naming them based on those observations, see Genesis 2:19, and a fearfully and wonderfully made physical body, Psalm 139 verse 14. They were created perfectly, never meant to get sick or depressed or anxious, and probably never meant to die. They were given complete dominion over the earth and could freely access all that God created, but one thing. There were actually 2 trees of interest in the midst of the garden: the tree of life, which they could have eaten of and thereby lived forever, but which they did not get a chance to eat of, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, Genesis 2:9. And one of these was off limits. You see, Adam and Eve were made in the image of God, but they weren't God. He was over them. They obeyed him. And you know what? They were fine with that. He had proven himself a lavishly loving father, giving them everything they could possibly want. All was wonderful in paradise, right? Not quite. There was someone else sneaking around in the garden, and he was angry. He had suffered a great fall from the grace of God, and he had a big grudge. He had something to prove, and he saw a perfect opportunity to get back at God by messing with his perfect little creations, made on a higher level than he was, as they were made in God's image, and he was not. All the universe would be watching the drama of ages play out on this little orb called Earth, and he would prove to them that God wasn't really that good, certainly not good all the time. He would show that God had an agenda. His name is Satan, and we'll talk more about him next time, along with his plan to seduce Adam and Eve away from the spiritual and turn them towards the carnal. There's a key verse for next time, one of the foundational verses in the Bible. For all that is in the world, carnal, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the boastful pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. 1 John 2:16, emphasis added. See you next time.